Collector's editions and various unique and special editions of Pokemon trading card TCG products have long been some of the most sought after and beloved and prized items for general collecting purposes. Interestingly enough, however, many of them have seen an astronomical increase in price over a period of years, and as a result, one has to ask the question: can these TCG collector edition boxes and sets serve a greater overall purpose and be a supreme type of investment in the Pokemon TCG? Can they help become a center point of your collection for their rarity and value? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about that. But before we do, let's roll that intro. Hey Gengar Gang, what is going on? My name is Ryan, this is the Analytic Gengar, and welcome to another video. In today's video, friends, we talk about TCG Collector Edition boxes. Now, the phrasing and the terminology is going to get a little weird and wonky, but just know that Collector's Edition might also mean Ultra Premium Collection, might also mean Premium Collection, might mean Super Cool, Dank, Awesome Litness Collection, or something in between all of that. Basically, we're talking about those really nice, really fancy, often very expensive boxes and sets that come out, and the specific purpose behind this is to generate like the most premium, most luxurious type of box that you can purchase for a given Pokemon trading card game set. So, with that said, today's article is from Screen Rant. Link will be down below. Although, if you've been following the channel, I should probably point out that there's been some interesting things happening with links. Go check the page. Go check the community tab if you want to find out more about what's been going on with me and my videos and the links. Because this is what YouTube has time to do. But in all seriousness, link will be down below if you want to go check out the original source video, the original source link rather, as always. If you like today's video, definitely feel free to leave a like on the video. It's the greatest way to help push this video out to other individuals. And as always, if you enjoy today's content and you think I deserve it, you can also feel free to subscribe to help continue to support the Analytic Gengar and help our happy little community continue to grow. But with all that said, let's dive right on into today's article. So honestly, the article is really kind of focused on just pointing out some of the coolest sets, and then I also want to layer in some of my own thoughts on this. And just kind of point some things out, right? So since '96, the TCG game has been, pumping out these limited edition items, such as the highly sought after, Pokemon cards, rare variants. But what's interesting is that it grew, right? So as the hobby and the trading card game grew, so too did the ability for Pokemon to create some more premium collectibles, right? So it's kind of weird because in this particular article, they go ahead and claim that things like first edition shadowless Pokemon cards are a limited edition variety. And while they are limited in the sense that they are vintage, no longer being produced, and are, finite in number, they're not necessarily numbered limited edition items, right? I think what the article is trying to get across here, though, is that over time, right, the premium collectability of things has changed. So back in the day, when it was a little bit more of a simplistic linear trading card game, you had your booster boxes, you had your blister packs. You opened them up. The rarest thing you could ever do was probably pull the highly sought after cards. And so over the past 25 years, releasing products has become a little more non-linear, right? So not only do we have sets that are exclusively not packaged in booster boxes, such as Hidden Fates, right, which came just in a variety of different sets, so too now do we have a bunch of different things that people have shifted collecting into, right? So in the past, it would have been just collecting the cards. Nowadays, you can collect the cards, but you can also collect, interestingly enough, sealed product. And that's where this article kind of hangs its hat. So the article points out the most notorious Pokemon Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection, which was literally, and I will not disagree with the statement, instantly sold out. The limited item was plagued by scalpers, and the premium set is an example of how popular Pokemon collector editions continue to be with Pokemon fans. So with the release of Scarlet and Violet, the TCG is likely to get a handful of new sets with Generation 9 on the horizon, but this article will provide you a list of the coolest TCG collections that have been released over the past 2 decades. Interestingly enough, the first one they jump into is a Japanese item. So this was the XY Pikachu Rayquaza cosplay break box. And it's one of the items that I thoroughly regret not picking up because I love Rayquaza, as many of you know, it being a Generation 3 Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. And so this item was released in 2016 as a limited time X and Y break box to celebrate the opening of the Pokemon Center Skytree in Tokyo. So this is a really specific item because this was released in one particular part of the world for one particular reason for one particular set of specified parameters. Basically, it's not something that would have been commercially available on a regular intended basis. It was only commercially available probably because people were able to jump on eBay and, you know, buy it from the people who were actually at the opening and were able to pick this up. And you can see here, only available at the Japanese store. You had Pikachu with a Rayquaza poncho, so that was pretty cool, not gonna lie. It's, you know, a highly sought after item, and fun fact, just the cards alone now sell for thousands of dollars online due to their incredible scarcity. So just an example of how powerful a investment or a collector's item, something like this, can grow to be. It's always a huge benefit of kind of zeroing in on these very specific things. And I noticed that the Japanese trading card game tends to have a lot more of this type of stuff. So as you can see, this one was specific to the Skytree Pokemon Center in Tokyo. We usually don't get stuff like that over here in the States. There were a few things like some Deoxys cards that were made just for an American tournament, I believe, but shy of something like that, you really don't see much here in the States like that. It's usually the Japanese stuff. And the most recent thing that I can remember from the Japanese that's a good example of this was the alternate art evolutions. Now, here's an image of what it looks like in Japan, and there were only 3,000 of these ever made, meaning they are incredibly rare. And then you have the English variants, which were released in those boxes that I'm not a big fan of, and everybody yells at me because I'm not a big fan of them. That video was released in December, so you can go look at it and complain about it there if you'd like. Next up, the Pokemon EX gift box. So this was a super cool one as well. This was an EX era item, again, Japanese. And interestingly enough, you had a bunch of promo cards in there, but you also got a Gold Star Pikachu and a Gold Star Mewtwo. And the cards are so rare that sealed versions of the collector's tin now sell for thousands on eBay. The Gold Star Pikachu selling for $15,000 in 21, and it's no doubt one of the rarest TCG card products that has ever been released. Now, there is quote-unquote an American version of this box. It's a lot more watered down. In my opinion, the equivalent EX gift box type of thing was the one with Deoxys and Rayquaza and the Hoenn trio on it. So I think it kind of parallels it. I don't necessarily think it's a one-for-one recreation, because obviously this particular Japanese version had a bunch of really cool stuff in it, and we didn't get anything close to that in the English variant, but the English variant stuff is another very highly sought after item. And the funniest part of all is that it's not even marketed as a ultra premium collection. It's just that historically it has come to be known as a type of premium product back in the day. Next up, how could we not get through this one? The Pokemon TCG Ultra Premium Celebrations Collection. This one, huge pain in the neck. If you go looking for this right now, prices are, at the time of recording, close to $400 and are actually on the rise. So just in case anybody's curious, they're actually going up right now a year after they were released. Normally what happens is something like this, which was a $120 box, would, maybe spike in price for a little bit, but then, some product would get pumped out there into the universe. Then prices would kind of stagnate. One would hope maybe like, $150, given that it's a $120 box. No, this immediately shot up to $300, so almost triple, more than double MSRP. And then, interestingly enough, it stayed there, and now it's trickling upwards because, in case you don't know, Celebrations was the 25th anniversary special set. So unlike other sets that would have a longer shelf life, meaning they would have been printed for a couple of years, Celebrations was printed just for the year celebrating the 25th anniversary, and then they stopped printing it. So one of the things that makes this a very interesting product to watch in the future is the fact that, for the most part, not a lot of it exists, and prices have remained consistently high. It would not surprise me, and this is just me guessing, not necessarily me hypothesizing, but it wouldn't surprise me that for the 30th anniversary, which is slated up for 2026, we see this going for $1,000. And that's because of those two gold-plated versions of iconic Pikachu and Charizard cards, 17 celebration packs. The pin, just the box itself, has become such a rare piece for a collector because so many of us didn't get a chance to pick it up, that you are going to be looking at it, you're going to be thinking, oh yeah, inflation's high, the economy's trash. Maybe it'll dip down to 200 and I'll buy it then. And I think this is one of those situations where everybody's going to be holding money in their hands, staring at this box, waiting for it to dip in price. And it's just going to continue to go up. And more of it is just going to get absorbed into collections because, it's a modern Pokemon product and a lot of people are collecting this type of stuff. And then before you know it, you're just not going to be able to pick one of these up for less than $1,000. That's my best guess. I'm sure I could use data to kind of come up with a more solidified hypothesis and price point, but I think that's the trajectory this thing is going on. You've got the Platinum Series collection. Again, this was a Platinum Series collection, not necessarily an ultra premium collection of any sort. But as you can see, in retrospect, it's now being looked at as a premium type of collection. Similar concept, right? It has a level X card in it. It has the 3 Sinnoh legendaries. It has some packs in it, a poster, an Arceus mini figurine that is now incredibly rare. Something interesting, something cool, and something that, again, was never intended to be some ultra expensive collector's edition, but now it's pretty neat. And the fact that we've had a lot of Gen 4 hype has probably helped this box to solidify its space within the realm. Pokemon Shining Legends Super Premium Ho-Oh Collection Box, that's a mouthful, is another one of those items. This one's from Shining Legends. So something I should point out now, notice that many of these are not vanilla items, right? So this was a special release, not related to any particular set. This was a EX era item. This was just related to the special celebration set, regular Diamond and Pearl era, Shining Legends. So notice that 2 of them at least, right, the Celebrations and the Shining Legends items, were tied to those special sets that we get once or twice a year. So here we see the 2017 one. So they brought back the shiny Pokemon mechanic since that was made its first debut since Neo Destiny. And this super premium Ho-Oh collection box, you get a Shining Celebi, a Shining Lugia, as well as a ton of promotional items. It's normally, interestingly enough, not the items within, it's usually the packs that drive the rarity, right? So we know Shining Legends is highly sought after for the Mewtwo card, for the various Shining Pokemon, but the packs help set that basic price point, and then you figure some of the promo cards have also become incredibly rare, so they interestingly themed it around Ho-Oh. However, they were smart because they also included a Shining Lugia as a promo card for the set, and that's a very intelligent thing to do when you consider the fact that you probably want to include Lugia, given that it's likely equally as popular, if not more popular, than Ho-Oh from the Generation 1 and 2 era of Pokemon. So including Lugia was a very good idea in there. I have a feeling this particular item would be worth a ton more money if they had simultaneously included Lugia and Ho-Oh and featured them both as prominently, or if they had chosen to theme it only around Lugia, or theme one box after Ho-Oh and another after Lugia. Finally, I'm actually going to skip that one. So the Super Premium Collection Mew and Mewtwo, this was a surprise, surprise, 20th anniversary set. So this was the Generations expansion as opposed to the Celebrations expansion. And as you can see, similar kind of concept, right? You have a ton of packs, you have some really interesting knickknacks, you have some full art cards, you have a statue, and surprise, surprise, one of the most highly sought after collector's editions from the modern era. Now, up till now, I have been just doing a lot of yapping and a lot of yammering. And while I do that very frequently, and it seems at least some of you like when I do that, this is the Analytic Gengar, and we will use analytics, or at least a single data point in today's video, and that is around this guy. Why do I choose this guy? Well, the Hidden Fates Ultra Premium Collection is an interesting one. Notice that it's one of the first times they will use the terminology Ultra Premium. Notice that in the past you get Super Premium. Now, do I think it really matters? No, I think the general idea was, hey, for a special set, here's the most expensive item you can buy. And that's kind of what they've been doing. But I think psychologically, there's been an impact with this ultra premium business, because now whenever you hear premium, panic instantly sets in. So for example, the Marnie Premium Collection sold out instantly. Why? It was a premium collection and it was Marnie. The combination of the two, boom, huge success. Similar concept here. You take a fan favorite Pokemon in Rayquaza, you make it shiny, you give me a statue of it, that's a full-size statue by the way, you give me 2 gold cards for the Sun and Moon era, and then you give me how many packs? 15? Yeah, 15 Hidden Fates booster packs. Many fans missed out on this limited item in 2019, but it can actually be bought online fairly cheap compared to other rare collector's editions. Now, I remember picking this up. I picked up multiple of this actually from my local Target, and that's how you know it was bad, because in 2019 the goons weren't scouring the world looking to pick this stuff up. I remember one time walking in and just seeing 2 casually sitting there a couple of months after Hidden Fates had been released actually, and I picked them up because YOLO, why not, right? So funny enough, I did a little bit of science, and here's what I found. So I went ahead and looked up the Pokemon Hidden Fates Ultra Premium Collection box on eBay. I went ahead and filtered for the sold items only, and then I went ahead and sorted the price by highest. Now, I am ignoring certain items like this best offer accepted, because while $600 is the displayed price, I cannot tell you what the actual best offer that was accepted was, and I admit that I can go on a different website and go find that out, but that just sounded like too much work. Interestingly enough though, I think bids are probably one of the best places, because when people bid, it's really a good indicator of what people are willing to pay, right? So you can see here, $600 basically for this box. This was $590 plus $25 in shipping. Scroll down a little bit, $595 with free shipping. You got $545. You've got basically that $550. You get my point. The point is that these have been consistently selling over the $500 price point, at least back in April of 2022. Now, the market has cooled down a little bit on these, but interestingly enough, there was a period of time where this box was selling for close to $800. And this was during the peak of the craziness of it all, the peak of prices, etc., etc. We've obviously seen it cool down. But here's something for you to consider. The year is 2022. It's been 3 years since the release of this box, and that's me doing a little bit of pseudoscience because it's actually less than 3 years total. Assuming you had one of these and you were looking at it purely as an investment, you're talking about a 5 times return on investment in the course of 3 years. The stock market averages about 10% per year. So in theory, ignoring the concept of compounding returns, you'd only be up 30% in 3 years, right? 10% each year, add those up, and you get 30%. This would have gotten you 500% return. 500. So it went from 100 to 500. That's $400. You got a 500% return on investment. Amazing stuff. And that's me picking the lowest hanging fruit because, yeah, it can be bought online fairly cheaply compared to other rare collector's editions. Stop and think about this for a minute. This guy is currently being sold for about, let's just say, $360. And I think $360 is a steal if I'm being honest. MSRP on this thing was $120. You're telling me in less than a year, 300% return on investment. So you're telling me you would triple your money had you bought a few of these and had them at MSRP. I realize that is a bit crazy, but that just goes to show you the power and the demand behind some of these more ultra premium types of collections. And again, the ultra premium brand, quote unquote, something very powerful, something very interesting. So what am I doing about this? Well, recently I bought 16 ultra premium collections at a disgusting above MSRP price. Put it that way. Yeah, I'm in it for the long haul. Don't plan on opening them up anytime soon. When I am ready, I will have one for my personal collection, I will have one to open, and I will have 14 to sell. But this is one of those things where made the investment and I'm just gonna forget that it even exists in my basement somewhere. I'll check in on the boxes just to make sure they're not getting moldy or anything, but other than that, just forget about them, because time and history has shown us that there are some items in the Pokemon TCG realm that become very, very rare with age. And I think anything on this page and anything that you can kind of see the same fundamentals in with new product that gets released is something you should consider buying, even if it's just for the purposes of having a few extra dollars a couple years from now that you can then turn around and use to enjoy the hobby the way you want to. But I think that's the real beauty of something like this, right? If you have one of these, or if you stumble upon one of these, it's a really cool item. They're often amazing products with amazing inclusions, some really cool cards, some really interesting and unique artwork, and I think that makes them stand out as collectibles. And then on top of that, you have the ability to really kind of maximize the value of your collection. And for fans of the channel, you know, it's not always about the, oh my god, that's the most expensive thing, I want that. For someone like myself, who's just, you know, your average run-of-the-mill person who doesn't have $1 billion in crypto, it's hard to justify spending $25,000 on a collectible that I actually want, such as a Hold-On Phantoms box, which I'm actively looking for, but, you know, it's tough to kind of decide that, right? So in buying something like this and putting it away, it creates an opportunity for me to lessen the need to use my own finances and really put myself in a silly position where I'm spending a stupid amount of money, basically the value of a decent sedan, into a Pokemon trading card box. Because if these can appreciate in value, as I've advocated multiple times in the past, that's how you can help the hobby, or use the hobby to make it in the hobby. Basically, you can take the opportunity to see these rare items, and if you're able to get your hands on them and can make the most of time, they can become investments that can help you shape your landscape of your own hobby, right? So in a similar way, it's my hope one day that the value of these things appreciate. I can go ahead and cash out so I can cash back into what I'm passionate about, which is the EX era. So that's just a little bit about what I'm doing with this, but definitely encourage you guys to do the same. Consider your opportunities, your possibilities, and really kind of think, because some of this stuff has really proven itself to be not only an awesome collectible to have in your own collection, but also something that can really help you accomplish your own goals in the hobby if they happen to be a little bit more on the high-end side of things. But with all that said, friends, thanks again for checking out another video. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, consider subscribing. It's the freest and the easiest way to help support the community, and it would mean a lot. As always, I appreciate your viewership. You could have been anywhere on the internet, but you chose to spend some time with me, and that means the world. Other than that, friends, thanks again for stopping by, and we will talk soon. Peace.